Okay, so finishing example number 4 on this sheet, which is the back of example number 3 sheet. So we already found the friction on the system part A. We found the coefficient of friction for the system in all the boxes. And now we're working on the tensions in the rope that are connecting each sled. So we started on the back sled, and we need to find the friction on number 3. It is not going to be the friction that we found on the whole system. That's the total friction. That's going to be the 3 frictions added up. So we need to find this friction, and we can because we have the mu. So we do sum of the forces in the y direction will be equal to MAY, which will be 0. So Fn minus Fg3 will equal 0. So Fn will equal M3G. So 60 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. Okay, so we go over here and do sum of the forces then in the x direction on number 3. And so we'll have Ft2 going forward, this way is positive, minus the friction on 3 going backward will equal M3A. And we're trying to find this Ft on 3, okay, from 2, so 2, 3, or whatever, is equal to M3A plus the friction on 3. So the tension between 2 and 3 will be 60 kilograms. RA was that weird 1.371 meters per second squared, plus, and friction is really mu, right? Friction is mu Fn. So we found our mu to be 0.200034, and then our Fn is the 60 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. Okay, punch all of this in your calculator, and it should work out to be a nice, pretty 200 newtons if you haven't rounded too much. Okay, so that's the tension between box 2 and box 3. Now we need to find the tension between box 1 and box 2. So to do that, look at on number 2. So on number 2, pulling forward will be Ft1 on 2, and pulling backward will be 2 forces. There'll be the Ft2 on 3 that we just found, and the friction on number 2, which will not be the same as the friction that was on number 3, right? So again, if you do sum of the forces in the y direction, there will be Fn going up, Fg going down, so it'll be Fn2 will equal Fg2 will equal M2G. And so now we do sum of the forces in the x direction is equal to M2A, so still forward is positive. So Ft12 minus the Ft23 that you just found, minus the friction on 2 will equal M2A. Take these second 2 forces over to the other side because we're looking for Ft12, so it'll be M2A plus F of tension that we found on the above plus mu Fn on 2. So Ft12 will equal 50 kilograms times 371 meters per second squared plus 200 newtons plus 0.20034 times 50 kilograms times 9.81 meters per second squared. This one doesn't work out quite as pretty. It will be 366.6 newtons, and the 6 is repeating. And then, if you wanted to, you could check. Kind of out of room here, but if you were to check, it would be on the first one. So on the first one, whoops, off the page. Let me back it up a little. On the first one would be the F going forward that we were given in the question, 500 newtons. And pulling back would be the F tension 1, 2 that you just found, and the friction on number 1 that you would need to find. So you would do sum of the forces is equal to M1A, and so it would be F minus friction on 1 minus FT12 is equal to M1A. So it would be 500 newtons minus the friction on 1 is mu M1G minus the 366.6 repeating, and that should equal, what was it, 40 kilograms times 1.371 meters per second squared. And this guy will be 0.2 times 40 times 9.81. And so when you do this, so it becomes 500 minus 78.493 repeating minus 366.6 repeating. And on the other side, it's 54.84. And lo and behold, on this side, it's 54.84 newtons is equal to 54.84. It's too bad I can't write that number right. 54.84 newtons. Check. Okay, so as you're wondering, do I need to do the check? No, you don't have to. It's just a way to make sure that you haven't screwed up. If you were doing a question like this on an assignment to hand in, I would recommend you do the check to make sure you got it right before you hand it in. Do you need to do it on a test? No, but if you're sitting there with like 10 minutes left because you're done and bored and there's still 10 minutes of class left, then do the check, because that always happens, right? When there's 10 minutes left after you finish the test before the class is over.